welcome officially, Dr. Juli Kramer. Thank you for being with
Sorry,
us.
so happy to be here with you guys, though. I'm ready whenever you guys are. So yeah.
So grateful for you being here. So, just to give a very short introduction, Dr. Juli Kramer is a psychologist, also a Qigong teacher from Colorado. Studied with several well-known Qigong masters. Most well-known probably is Ken Cohen, old friend of mine and a wonderful Qigong master in his own right. I would love to invite all our participants today to ask whatever questions you guys have, and we will just go for a lot longer than we anticipated. If necessary, you can log off. But if you're interested and would like to ask Dr. Kramer some questions, stick around.
Okay. Um, I guess first off, I'll give you guys just a little bit of a context and some things that I feel, that I can maybe answer questions on. With my psychology hat, I don't practice psychology. I have part of my doctorate in psychology and curriculum and instruction, and my whole intention with all of my research and my teaching is to help people maximize their potential, right? That who we are in our core. And that's where Qigong, I think, is such a natural fit, whether it's with creativity, with whatever Qigong brings out for us psycho-emotionally. So questions along that, I can probably really give you good direction. Physiologically, also, when we're looking at the brain-body connection, I have a lot of kind of like neuroscience stuff in my background, so I can answer questions in that regard for you. And I would love to get you to know you. So if you do ask a question, I'd love to know where you are, kind of what your connection is to Qigong, and if you feel comfortable sharing.
And also, if you feel comfortable turning your camera on, I think that would be really, really good.
Yeah, I would love to say hi. So hi to everybody if I can see you or not.
Right on.
Yeah, go
Well,
ahead. Kim, go ahead and unmute.
please go ahead.
Hello, I was just waving. I'm
Oh, hi.
sorry.
That's okay.
This was my very first meeting, and I'm listening to get the gist of what's going on.
Yeah. What brings you to the community and to Qigong?
Um, I attended the summit and I liked it, and I became a member. But I do have a Qigong teacher, Lee Holden, and I've been practicing for about 3 years.
Great.
So,
I did in the I lived in Shanghai and did a lot of training there, but Lee Holden's program was my first training, and I'm actually doing the tier 2 in August with him. He's fabulous. I am very lucky to be in Colorado because Ken Cohen lives here, and so I do some private instruction with him, and so keep up with it. I'm so happy
I
for you.
will.
And it does take a community. I don't know if ever you guys feel isolated, right? It's a whole new language and a way of thinking about your health, your mental health and physical health that oftentimes can feel very isolating. So it's beautiful that you're building this community to have connection. I love that.
Absolutely.
Thank
It's
you.
something that you can certainly practice on your own. And I firmly support and encourage you to practice on your own whenever you can. But absolutely true. It's nice to have a community of like-minded people with whom to practice, with whom to share some of your interests and breakthroughs and questions. And just like we were talking a little bit earlier today, the more people you align with in terms of their values and your values being on the same page, the more people will help you manifest and live your dreams.
Yeah.
So talking about values, talking about that which is most important to you should not be scary, and we should just hold back. No, we actually want to put those values a lot further front and center, because that will allow us to connect with like-minded people. Otherwise, how do we know that people are even like-minded like us?
Yeah. And the other thing that I would add to that, Lama, is that even if people are not like-minded, when you do Qigong and you do have time immersed in the community, when you go out to the broader world, your energy flows, right? I'm sure doing it for 3 years, Kim and others of you, I don't know if you feel like you might also want to share that when your heart is so full, your energy is flowing and strong, that goodness can't help but ripple off you. I don't know if you guys have experienced that you'll see people grouchy in a crowd and you've just done Qigong and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to send a little love out here. And I think that's the gift that, that we can bring also. So yeah, we need to recharge. We need to be, like Lama said, within that like-minded group. And we then have a gift to share and spread to others. So feel so honored, to be really reaching out to a new community. So it means a lot to me. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, your presentation during the summit was fabulous and really fun. And maybe to kind of break ice, so to speak,
Yeah.
would you give a brief synopsis of your teachings and what you offer and how people would be able to learn more about your teachings?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'd love that. So if you haven't watched it yet, I did this session on Qigong and creativity and did just kind of a background thinking about how Qigong evolved and then working into how Qigong can inspire your own creativity as we are creative beings, right? That we need to create to thrive, some people more than others. I do Chinese face reading, and we have people who have very strong wood element, have to definitely do a lot of creating. But what I bring, I also have a community, Radiant Shanti. We have classes twice a week. I have teachers from all over the world, teachers you might know. If you know Holden Qigong, you might know John Platt, Nick Lawfrey. I have yoga, Kundalini yoga. I have a shamanic practitioner from Canada who does work. And their whole intention of Radiant Shanti, Shanti means body, and more than just the physical body in Chinese, the idea is to bring that radiant love everywhere, to bring that radiant love first into your own core essence, and then from there to expand it. We do a lot of special topics. We've done sleep, we do loss and grief, we've done a session on. We're working on osteoporosis. The students requested a whole session on osteoporosis. We've done shamanic healer animals. And the intention is that we can learn from these ancient practices, kind of clear away the veil of the Western dominant, that very dominant Western narrative of what, I don't even want to call it health, because I don't think the Western medical model has a program for health. But so taking away how they look at the body, maybe, and expanding how you can look at your body as this powerful tool that Lama, when you were talking earlier about this TMJ, that it's like this gift, your body wants it, you feel the nervous system calm. And one of my mentors from Shanghai, Dr. Eva Zhang, she's written 5 books on nutritional therapy, really looking at herbs and beauty and herbs and mental health and whatnot, food-based therapies. But she talks about one of the most important things you can do for your energetic body is to touch your body, to feel your body. Where are you sore? When you are sore, like when you massage a point, your body's like, oh, yes, you are my partner. And I just was smiling when you said that. Our bodies they're not our enemy. And I think that's the vernacular in the Western medicine. It's an enemy. I'm going to fight this. I'm going to battle this. And, Western medicine evolved on the battlefield. It's just putting broken things back together. Yeah. And thank you, Willow. And Chinese medicine evolved by farmers and Taoists and warlords eventually saying, I like life. I want to enjoy it and live longer. So it's a very different model. And so when you touch the meridians, when you massage, when you move and do Qigong, your body's like, oh, thank you. Thank you for being my partner. Thank you for us working, and it's, again, that's too separate. I'm still bringing that separate language, but it's just really tuning into that we are our complete holistic selves, which includes a body that we need to cherish. So thoughts and questions from you guys about your practices. I'd love to learn where you're at, what you're thinking is relevant. If you feel shy and you don't want to take off your camera or speak, feel free to put any thoughts in the chat. What's been your journey along claiming your relationship with your body and your health?
Well, I'll share.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thanks, Janet.
Um, my background, I'm been a nurse for 48 years now, and so over the past several, getting rather discouraged with um, oh, the treatments and the easy fixes, the so-called easy fixes. And let's give you a pill for this, a pill for that. And now that I have been winding down that career, I don't want to retire, so to speak. I just want to take my what I know about nursing and my way of promoting health in a different way. And so, what I had mentioned earlier is that my goal is to uh, provide Qigong classes and health discussion. Um, and my goal would be at least once a week to have something, ongoing. And I did just complete a series in a learning and retirement series, uh, and through a couple of certain more than a couple through Lama, but the suggestions he gave me uh, prior to doing those, I think it was very successful, and I'd like to see it continue. And but yes, to be creative and a pop-up session of uh, just finding peace, finding a topic of creativity and everything like that, and to be creative with it. Um, and again, it's my way of not only for my health and for my way of kind of it's going initially sometimes I think it's my way of fighting the healthcare system, but I should change that thought of more positive.
Yeah,
What is it I want to promote?
yeah.
And but in my way, and um but it's again taking the steps and doing the consistency, doing who do I meet in the community, where do I do this. So that's kind of where I'm at. Sorry if I'm rambling there.
No, it's fabulous. No, and I think it's such a great example of a couple of things. One is drawing on the life wisdom, like you've seen so much and you've observed so much and you found this new path and you're bringing this heartfelt energy to move forward in a new way. And how many people you've already benefited probably, and how many more will come. Yeah, that sounds perfect. That sounds really beautiful. Um, and having a community again to support you, I think is really lovely that you'll have that. Um, Creativity, what I love that I'm hearing is that you're doing. Oftentimes when people think about creativity, it's all in the head and they get stuck there. And that's what I love about Qigong, because Qigong removes the stagnant energy, which includes into our liver, our source of kind of like seat of creativity, if you will. And you do. So you'll know more on your journey, I think, by each person you talk to, everywhere you go, have a card, just keep doing. And the path, I think, will really unfold. But I love to hear that you're already doing. You're
Mm.
you're taking action. That's amazing. Yeah.
Well, thank you. And I really took to heart that it doesn't have to be perfect. I let go of the thinking it had to be all perfect and so concerned about what I was going to say or not say, and letting go of that thinking made it flow.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, yeah. And again, that's another paradigm, not just Western culture, but many cultures have, that you need this perfectionism that you strive for. It has to be just so, when really what the students with whom we're working, our families with whom we're working, they just want our best selves. They just want our love. They just want us to inspire them to see their best selves. And you know, it's okay to own, like, if you ever make a mistake, right? I taught high school for a gazillion years, and I was a principal and a curriculum director. And, you know, the number of mistakes I've made over the years, all the way back to student teaching, you have to just own it and laugh with it. And your students will grow with you. That's what's so beautiful. They'll know that they are going to be more inspired because they know it's a reciprocal relationship. They're not the only ones growing. They also give to you. And I think that makes people connect even at a deeper level. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. That's beautiful. Yeah. Other stories, other thoughts. You're like my students. My students tend to be shy. A little quiet.
Well, I'm
Maybe
not
just
shy.
with me, maybe not with each other, but maybe just me. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I suppose I'm going back to the TMJ question, which was raised by Lucinda, and this whole area. I have several questions. One is that in Qigong, we're generally encouraged to smile with the eyes, but I never hear a Qigong teacher say smile with the lips.
I do. I do all the time.
That's why I'm asking you then, because
Yeah. Let me talk. Yeah.
they seem to suggest that if we seem too smiley, we might attract, in inverted commas, the wrong kind of attention. This is what I'm picking up. So I'm prepared to explore that with you. I've also got a lot of tightness in the TMJ. I was, due to trauma and things, I was almost silent for about 20 years. So there's a lot of stuff there. And one of the impacts is on my teeth. I've lost my front teeth and a lot of my teeth, and I would like to replace them without having to have medical intervention. Is that possible in the Qigong world?
So I think
to grow them or to recreate them.
Yeah. So Lama, I'm going to I'm going to tackle first the inner smile, and I am going to teach a quick teeth tapping and teeth tonguing exercise for you guys that are maybe will protect the rest of your teeth. And the teeth also to know are related to the kidneys. Each tooth does have its own meridian channel that it's tied to, but overall our bones, our teeth are part of that kidney reproductive gene essence. Fear, if your trauma was related to fear, it makes sense that you struggled and suffered in this area. So that's just something to explore for sure. With if you have a TCM doctor, I recommend working closely with a TCM Chinese tradition, Chinese medicine it can be CCM, classical Chinese medicine, or traditional Chinese medicine doctor. But let me talk about the smile. So there is an exercise called the inner smile. It's actually a very, ancient, well, several hundred years old, maybe even millennia old practice of doing an inner smile in particular to the heart. But we do know our lips are tied to the heart. They are the external beautiful flower or the leaf of the tree, if you will, or the blossom of the tree for the heart meridian. And when we use our actual smile, it does send an extra pulse and extra energy to the heart. Dr. Zhang also talks about this as well, that this inner relationship between the lips and the heart. So you don't have to smile all the time, but it gives you such great energy, such great power. It strengthens circulation. It strengthens the energetic. And remember, the heart system has the heart, triple energizer, pericardium, and small intestine. So 4 key elements within the body are tied to that heart system. And it, again, will give a lot of nourishment. The teeth also, something that comes to mind is really diet, nutrient absorption. Something feels like for you, it's not just purely psychological, maybe looking at what's happening dietarily for you, that your body's not absorbing sufficient nutrients to protect what's going on. I do train with Dr. Zhang and others in Chinese medicine, traditional nutritional therapy. I used to consult Western clients, but I don't anymore because it's too hard for them to really grasp that and how you eat from a Chinese medicine health model. So I would look at that. So the next thing I'm going to show you is teeth tapping is a Qigong, medical Qigong practice and super beneficial. You can tap your molars. So just tap and really try and focus on your molars. And you do that 50 to 100 times. And then you'll tap your front 2 teeth on the top and bottom, dentures or otherwise. You'll still stimulate the meridian channels in the gums. So you'll do those for 50 to 100 times. I know it's not pretty, so. And then you'll do each set of canines, top and bottom. And that's a little tricky. So you'll do 50 to 100 on one side, and then 50 to 100 on the other side. Super gentle tapping, just waking up the channels, waking up that energy in the gums and the teeth, and do it once a day. I do it when I'm waiting at a red light, my blinker's on, I'll kind of tap in rhythm to the turn signal in my car, or, just think about it. The other thing you can do is after you eat a meal, and you have all of the food stuffs on your teeth, you don't have time to brush your teeth, you do what's called tongue swiping. And you'll go, I'm going to try and show you, I don't know if this will work. I'll just show you on the top and the bottom. So you bring your tongue, you'll swipe along the outside on the top and on the bottom. You'll do 8 times one direction on the outside, 8 times the other direction on the outside, and then you'll go on the inside, 8 times one direction and 8 times the other direction. This is just really good practical oral hygiene that is practiced in China. Even my students, I was a curriculum director for a Chinese school starting a Western Division program, and I was writing the curriculum for that. They knew to do this. They knew to do the tongue swiping and caring for the teeth. So those are little things. I can't, Lama, you'll have to address, can your teeth grow back? I honestly do not have any clue about that. But I do know protect the teeth you do have remaining. I do recommend dietary strengthening so you can really get nutrients. And then whatever fear connection there, maybe Lama can address that a little bit. I know kidney, bladder, strengthening that overall Jing essence within. That's why I think the food will be really important. If you've depleted your congenital Qi, I think that'll be really helpful. So Lama, maybe you want to address the other parts.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I ask Julia? Oh, sorry. Just Julia, could you tell me? I can't join my jaw. So in the tapping, I can only do one side. I can't. My 2 front teeth are not meeting either. Could you say about this?
So what you might, this is just off the cuff of my head. I'd have to ask one of my consultants. I have an advisory team that helps me. You might consider just tapping with your fingers, top and bottom. So Lama, I'll send you an email and to let you know if that's what, and you might already know the answer to it, but I can't imagine that would be, I know it wouldn't be harmful, but that's the first thing that comes to mind, but I'll ask, I'll find out. Yeah.
Wonderful. And there are also other ways, for example, using something that you can literally bite onto. So basically placing it between your upper and lower teeth and just gently biting into something that would be either made of wood or other reasonably soft substance, so you don't actually hurt your teeth. So it's not a metal. For example,
and organic though, like ideally maybe not a plastic-y. So we can do some research and come back with some questions, because that's such a really valid point. Definitely.
Absolutely. And Benny, did you have more questions?
Well, yeah, I really would like to know how to grow my teeth back. From my point of view, necessity is the mother of invention. I can't tap my front teeth because they've gone, and I can't tap 2 of my molars because they're not there. I've only got about 9 teeth left. So necessity is the mother of invention. I don't want titanium in my body. My body rejects. I don't want false teeth. The idea sounds awful. So again, I'm being forced to think about it and put the question out there. Actually, I know it is possible, but dentists, surprise, surprise, don't want to put the research money into that because it'll do them out of a job. But I think the research is starting with kind of scaffolding and using stem cells. And I'm wondering whether Qigong actually uses stem cells in a different way. that primordial chi, and that we can start to use it, but I wouldn't have a clue how to do it.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing that comes to mind in that regard, again, is the nutrition. So start by truly building up enough chi that you have extra at the end of your day to store, within the kidneys. You have your gu chi, your fu chi, your air chi. You need to make sure that doing your qigong, your breathing, getting, absorbing the chi, being in nature, from trees, from oceans, from, making sure that you're cultivating chi essence from the natural world around you. That's what's going to help you build up the reservoir, and so you're not depleted each day. Then
can I just say, I am presenting myself with inordinate challenges because I'm in a room and I can't get out due to not being able to walk very well. So maybe I shouldn't be just focusing on my teeth, but the whole bone structure in its entirety. So to say to me to get out to nature, it's not happening at the moment. And I don't want to add to my frustration.
Yeah. Do you have a wheelchair? Is there someone that you have a wheelchair available that you can even just be outside? Do you have a window to get fresh air? Is that possible?
Yeah, the windows where I am, they don't actually open very much. They just open a bit at the bottom. So I'm presented with a lot of challenges, which I'm taking on, and I'm trying to smile, but it gets a bit tricky. The wheelchair is a possibility, but I'm looking at really a lot of me wants a quick fix, but I don't think it's going to be that. But it might be, like, take up thy bed and walk. I don't know.
What's going to get you started is just starting. And just like you were talking about, a little bit earlier when Janet was talking about her journey with her teaching, just do one tiny thing. Just do one tiny thing. Keep it super simple. And then, maybe it's sitting by the window, making sure it's that crack open and that you're breathing in that air, right? Don't make it more complicated. Just do that. And then maybe it's making sure, like, one thing is very important for people, are you over 50 or over 40? Where are you at? Okay. So making sure that you eat cooked food. Don't eat raw food, don't eat cold food. Just make sure that you're eating warm food that your body can actually absorb the nutrients. You'll get more nutritional value from cooked food once you're over 50, because our stomach and spleen chi is weaker. So we need to have cooked food that is bland, and that's the ideal diet. So just do get fresh air and eat cooked food, and then take a next step. So those are things that I would start with.
That's, again, quite frustrating, because I'd rather eat raw food, because then I don't have to pay someone at the moment to go and cook it for me.
Oh, you don't have a kitchen in your space?
Yeah, but it's downstairs and I can't go down the stairs. So I was thinking, if I go on raw food, that solves that problem. But
raw food is very, very bad. Raw food is like it's very harmful. Yeah. So in Chinese medicine, two things: it depletes your stomach and spleen chi as you age, and the nutrients are not bioavailable. So is it better than no food? Eat raw. If you don't have a choice and you don't have the resources, absolutely eat the raw food. If you do have any support and any way to eat the cooked food, then when you can, do that. When you can, do that.
Okay. It's a big test. I'm determined to conquer it, but it gets a bit mud sometimes.
Well, I'm sure we're all sending you all this good energy.
Never mind the plastic infusions.
Yeah. But you're in the right place. You're in the right place, right? You're in a place where you're going to learn what you need, and you're going to get the support that you need to be on your journey. So
I do a lot of the Qigong sitting down, but I do try and do it standing up, resting my back against the wall, and just doing one or two very simple exercises.
That's where you start. You got to start somewhere. Good for you.
Thank you. Thanks for your help.
Yeah.
And if anyone finds out about teeth, I'd love to know.
Hang on, I'm reading William's comment. Sorry, in the chat. Yeah. So William said, I listened to your presentation at this summit, thought it was inspiring to think of Qigong as a practice open to creativity and not as something rigid, where certain rules have to be strictly followed. In my practice, which only recently is becoming regular and consistent, I try to integrate elements from different teachers and forms of Qigong that I've been in touch with, mostly through internet-free sessions or in one presence course. However, some teachers and books warn about the dangers of working with energy, and this warning tends to turn into something that creates fear. Yes, absolutely, and prevents from committing to this practice. Yes, I do. It has some insights. I spoke with Ken Cohen about this before I developed my presentation and really addressed that there is a culture of fear from many teachers. You have to do it just so. And I saw this when I lived in Shanghai. If it's not this way and it's not exact, you not have this. And he basically said, if you are in tune with your body and you are not pushing beyond the comfort, you're not completely distorting, you're not completely destructing, he says it's fine. In fact, he talked about a form, and I think I don't remember if I talked about it in the presentation, he talks about in his book, The Way of Qigong, and I'll probably butcher the title, but anyway, his first book from 93, about in China, they'll just move your body, just absolutely take in, and they'll do this free-form movement, and you'll see this in the park, and they'll just be very in tune with the energy, and they just move. So the fear of doing it wrong is more harmful than just doing what you feel, is pretty much, and I'll let Lama address this as well, but this is what Ken talked about, and I would trust his judgment more than my judgment. But I did a lot of research for what I said in the presentation. I did a lot of research with different teachers and talked with different teachers. And, so the main thing that I would say is always open your chi, be mindful of coming into your space, start with a few breaths, and always close your chi. Close it. However that looks for you, however that feels for you. Be merry. I do have recommendations for tinnitus. So you need to be very mindful of opening, coming into the space, and then closing the energy before you go, standing calmly and breathing. Those two things will let the chi do what it needs to do if it got stuck, or if it needs to move, wherever it needs to settle, and your mind will be calm. So thoughts about that, Lama, that you have, and then I'll address Suli's question.
Yes, that was a great question, William. And I would say the reason why people experience so-called chi deviations and why people are concerned about chi deviations is because people often focus on that which worked for somebody at some point in time in the past. That's how masters created the forms. They created the forms because they discovered, oh, wait, if I do things this way, and then I do things this way, and then I do things this way, it actually works for me. Well, why did the master have to create that form? Was the old one not working? Apparently it wasn't working so well, but that's what makes people masters. Not that they know a whole bunch. Nowadays, most people who are known as masters are the ones who created a new form or created a new style or a new school of Qigong. That's basically how people become masters. Well, they literally violate one of the most obvious rules for Qigong students, that do what you've been taught. And if they created a new form or a new style, they're not doing what they've been taught. They're actually getting creative and doing something else. Well, that's one of the reasons why there are so many masters, because people are afraid of doing that. So what we do need to learn is we need to learn how to be less afraid, how to let go of fear. We all know that fear has negative effects on our health, on our psyche, and our lives. If we become less fearful, we actually will experience something different from what we're experiencing now. Is it good? Is it bad? Who knows? Nobody knows what's good and what's bad is. It's just stereotypes of thinking. What we do is we learn to connect the dots between cause and effect. You do something, observe the results. How is it working for you? If it's working great, keep doing it on the right track. If it's not working so great, well, try something else. Don't get stuck in that pattern or in that form. In other words, being creative is what makes one a master. But mastery is not a destination somewhere at the end of a long journey. No, mastery is the process of mastering the arts. And the more you practice, the more masterful you become over time. It's the journey of mastering the arts, not the journey to mastery. And that means each and every day we practice, we can actually exercise our mastering the art. And that's basically how I approach the energy arts in general, that you have to basically connect the dots, see the connection between cause and effect, and then make decisions based on your discernment. And discernment is not the decision-making process based on preconceived ideas of what somebody says is good and what somebody says is bad. That's crap. Instead, we learn how to make discernment based on energy resonance.
Yeah.
Energy resonance is what you resonate with authentically at this particular point in your life, which may be different from what the next person resonates with, and that's okay. And if they try to tell you, oh, you're wrong, you should be resonating with this, they don't know the first thing about Qigong. So that basically gives you the permission to explore. And one thing that to pay attention to is to maintain mindfulness of the edges of your comfort zone. If you push yourself over the edge, you're going to hurt yourself. That's the definition of the comfort zone. So if you are paying attention to the edges of your comfort zone, you will learn how to navigate those edges, and exploring the new things, you'll be reinventing the wheel. Even if this wheel has been invented many times before by generations of other Qigong practitioners, it's okay to reinvent it, because you will never forget how the wheel works, and you'll be able to integrate it and apply it yourself. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Very good.
Yeah, I was going to say that the reason we do learn from the masters, why I study with other teachers, why I, am with others, because those forms do tune us into our energy. The more you feel comfortable with the form, like if you do Baduan Jin or Lianggong Sherba Fa or, Hun Yuan or whatever those forms may be, the 5 elements, 5 animals, you can get in a zone where you're so comfortable with them, you can tune into your body more. And so there's great benefits already, because we do know these have happened. We do know that they're beautiful forms, and it lets your awareness unfold. Like Lama said, you need that mindfulness. And then from that beautiful foundation, it's like in the arts, as I shared in the presentation, some work I did in my doctorate in Australia and Colorado, and I'm from Colorado, someone asked. The students needed that foundation. How does this paint work on this surface? How do I, hold my pencil for doing these line sketches? It's the same thing within Qigong. By doing these foundational skills, you create this reservoir of tools in your toolbox, if you will, and you can bring these tools out once you feel your energy, and that's where the fear can go away, because you are so in tune with what feels good to you. And again, that that chi deviation, it can happen, but I think fear is more likely to happen than anything you would do if you're moving in tune with your body. Fear is very powerful at disrupting chi. So yeah. Okay, so the benefits, we were talking about tinnitus. We know that the ears are related to the kidneys, right? They're part of that whole system. And there are many things you can do. So if you open your jaw, bring your fingers into where there's that divot, let go, and the bone moves back out there. So close your mouth and you feel the bone move out. This is Ting Hui. And so this is a great point every morning, every evening, or throughout the day. Just massage, kind of press 3 times, jiggle a little bit, And then massage forward for about 30 seconds and backward, or 30 counts and backward. And so that's a really good one. Beating the heavenly drum, where you have your, okay, bye, Teresa. Thank you so much. Yeah, for everybody. Where you bring the hands in back then and you tap like that. You can do that for 20. We do know, oh, Lama, can I share screen? Is it set up for me to share screen?
I can make it possible.
Okay, can you do that? And I'll show a couple points.
Yes.
While Lama's doing that, okay, so let me show a couple acupressure points. Black sesame seeds, black foods, black beans, blackberries, blueberries, those kinds of, the dark foods are really nourishing for the kidneys. So those can also help. If you see here, kidney 3, the triple yang junction, right around here, there's a lot of points that merge, but especially kidney 3. If you go to the top of your ankle and go back, and that's a great point also to massage here on the ankle. That's really good for that, for tinnitus as well. This is a great one to massage for many different things, but right here, if you flex your toes and then you come right back behind where you feel around for this reaction point is what we call it, a tender point. That's also really great to massage for ear health. And another thing that I teach my students, I do a lot with yoga mudras. It's finger yoga. So this is Shunya Mudra. If you take your middle finger, curl it in and grab it with your thumb, you'll see the other fingers extended. This is really great for the shoulders, throat, and neck. You were talking about the TMJ and the neck earlier, but this is also for hearing. It's great for hearing, this building the sense of hearing and clearing tinnitus. Then there's a lot of other things, but I think those 3 things, those 3 points, 4 points, Ting Hui, kidney 3, kidney 1, and Shunya Mudra. Hold it for about, there's actually meditations that go with it. It's also great for the thyroid gland. This is a really great movement for the thyroid gland. So I hope that helps with your working with it. Again, Ting Hui is great. Another thing you can do is bring your hands in front and your index fingers behind your ear. I'm going to take off my glasses to show you this. And the fingers in front, and then again, rub up and down 9 times, and then ears forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. So yeah, Lama, other thoughts? Yeah.
Yes, Julie, you mentioned drumming the heavenly drum.
Yeah.
So that is the gallbladder meridian 19 or 20, yeah. Right? And that's basically just placing the fingers behind the ears, halfway between the ear and the back of the head, and applying pressure with index fingers and dropping them down from being on top of the middle finger down onto the surface of the scalp.
Perfect.
And you can do that a dozen times or more. And if you feel like that is helping, you do more of it. If you feel like it's not helping, don't do anymore.
Love it. I love it. Willow, it looked like you have your hand raised.
Yeah.
Great information. And I was wondering, my dad just went in for a lung operation, and he had asbestosis, so they removed a little bit of the lower part of the lung, and he's, yeah, still in the hospital, a bit challenged with some air escaping into his tissues and such. So I'm wondering, again, very limited. It's like I would do all sorts of stuff, but what I can get him to do, I'm not sure. So what are the easiest things? I'm also former massage therapist, so I've been massaging him. Can you recommend any points or anything easy? Thank you.
So one thing that's super easy with a gua sha stone, you can massage down the inside of the arm, up the outside, on this inner part along the thumb, and then up from the index finger up, just super gentle stroking with the hand or with a gua sha stone that hits the lung points and then comes up the large intestine, the partner organ. Just super, again, letting the letting that part of the body know you're there. Then here, just below the collarbone, just near that shoulder notch. I can show you this. Let me show this as well. Massaging lung 1. Also be prepared for grief, sadness, sorrow, not just from all the medicines and chemicals, but you see lung 1 and 2 here along below and above, massaging here, but always don't massage with the same side. Massage, relax the arm, don't massage at the same time. You want to relax and then massage, feel around for the reaction point, and then massage the other side. Of course, Qigong, breathing for the lungs, very important for him to be working on different forms of Qigong breath. There are many, there's, reverse abdominal breathing, breathing with movement, breathing without movement, box breathing, where you breathe in for like 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. So lots of different Qigong types of breath are very helpful for that. But work with him to be prepared emotionally for sadness, grief, loss, that you might even have anger and irritation because of the medicines in his liver affecting, the toxins in the gallbladder and liver. So emotionally be there for him to say, yeah, this is not just your head, this is your body recovering. I think that we too often just connect it all in our brain, and it's not. Our bodies really affect our moods and emotions, so we want to make sure that we have patience with that.
And also it would be wise to simply do inner smile, just smiling to your lungs and connecting with the lungs, giving them some loving chi.
So I hope that helps. And again, patient. Okay, big toe joint and or gout. For me, I love Liangong Sherba Fa Series 2. I find that for any joint pain, it's one of, I'll put that in the chat. I do have a full on my YouTube channel, but I prefer, I like people to go to my website because there's so many ads and so much noise on YouTube. I think it can be distracting. If you're comfortable with me sharing a link, Lama, are you okay if I share a link with people in the chat for
Certainly.
that? Okay. Anyway, so Liangong Sherba Fa Series 1 and 2 were designed by a doctor in Shanghai in the 1970s, and the intention was to address very common ailments and problems that people have. And so it was, here it is. It was wonderful to offset that. And I'll send the series, I break it down where you can learn it, and it's free on my website, so you can take a look and learn them. But anyway, in series 2, it's really focused on the joints and the organs. So it's focused on healing the internal organs. There's a lot of lifting of the heels, balancing on the toes. There are chair exercises that you can do for it. But that I find when people have gout, joint problem, and again, your diet, really important to notice and address what you're eating and asking yourself, am I having too many fats? Am I having too many, too much cold food? Am I having too much processed food? And so our bodies tell us much, much earlier than the doctors can catch in the West, problems that are going on internally. So your toe and your gout is saying, pay attention to me, help me. But I definitely recommend Liangong for any joint problems. I think it's fabulous. Yeah, gua sha can be a wooden implement. You can even do it with a spoon. You don't have to have a stone. There are a lot of benefits of different stones. I do teach and do a lot with stone medicine, how they help you emotionally work on different aspects. I'll put a link in there for some of the articles on the different benefits of stones. But they're, again, really powerful. If you can add stones, white is good for the lungs. White jade is really good for willow for your dad. Yeah, so you guys, yeah, these are great questions. Thank you. How to spell, gua sha, sorry, yes, I think Lama, you had it in there, gua sha. Sometimes people make it one word, but you can have it as 2. But I think what you guys are gaining and learning and doing, when I think about creativity, curiosity, right? And what I so value about you, Lama, and what you said earlier is connecting to yourself. And this, I used to, when I taught K-12 art methods at the University of Denver, and I'll end with this. It's this idea of the just right challenge. I used to have my teachers, I would put 2 jump ropes on the floor. And for the first 2 jump ropes, I'm like, okay, you have to jump over these ropes. And they were super close together. And I'm like, how did you feel? Did you feel accomplished? Was that a big deal? They're like, and they're like, no, it's too easy. I'm like, okay. And then I would move them 6 feet apart, like really far apart. And no one could do it. No one could jump it. And I'm like, how do you feel now? And they're like, frustrated, irritated. I want to quit. Like, why should I even bother? And then you bring it to that just right challenge. And every day is different. You don't know what that level is going to be for you. And they had to work at it. They practiced, they tried a few times, they kept going and were motivated. And so that's what I invite for you all is, and Lama talked about it. What is your just right level of challenge with your own practice, with your teaching, with your learning, and with each other as a community? As you continue to grow, how can you give each other that just right level of challenge as well? And I think that that's, Lama, do you have the link to my presentation? Sully just asked for it. I have it somewhere. I don't have it readily right available.
So all the presentations have been recorded. If you are one of our VIPs, you just log into our website, worldtaichi-qigong-summit.com, and you will get access to it. If you are not a VIP, I would certainly encourage you to upgrade to the VIP status. It's not too late. You will be grandfathered with more than 50% discount just for being here today. So just go to the website and you will see that you can upgrade to the VIP status. Once you do, you'll have access to not only the presentation by Dr. Kramer, but all the 20 presentations, plus all the panel discussions, plus over $2,000 worth of bonus materials.
Yeah. And no one has taken advantage. If you guys are a VIP member and you haven't taken advantage of the coupon code for my class, Willow, come join my class. It's the Transform Your Energy. You learn all about the chakras and you learn about the meridians. I go through each of the meridian systems as well as the 8 extraordinary meridians. You will just be so empowered to know how your body works. So if you haven't taken advantage of that coupon link, please, I'm keeping it open for you guys. And I would love you to take the class, give me your feedback, ask questions. I really think that the more knowledge you have about how the meridians in your body work, the more energy you can create, the more efficient and effective your Qigong practice is, because you'll understand, oh, when I'm doing this padding, this is what I'm working on. When I'm doing this move, I'm working on this. I mean, it just enhances your expertise, and especially those of you like Janet teaching. I think it's really great to have that foundation. So, okay, I feel so honored that you stayed. I feel so appreciative of this opportunity, Lama, and I apologize for any confusion, but you guys really have such a lovely energy, and I hope that you, I feel very honored to have been able to share that with you today.
I love the energy too, and just to end on a joke note, I wanted to say, well, what you just described to us a minute ago about finding just the right challenge, Goldilocks would be really proud of you.
Oh, yeah. Right. It's just right. But she was just eating somebody else's hard work. You guys are going to do your own hard work.
Yes.
Lama gave us the gift of the VIP, and it's been amazing. So thank you. I hope you guys, if you're not a VIP, definitely take advantage of it. So
thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure to have you in our community, Dr. Kramer. It is a privilege to have you, and I think we're going to have some serious fun at our next summit next year.
oh yeah, so excited. So bye, you guys. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Thanks, Lama.